Hello.
Hello.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the AstoundCast, episode number... Is it 37, this one?
I think so.
Wow. Okay, let me just set the title. Really hope they give this power back to anyone soon.
Yeah, needs to be an admin to set up a topic. So if you ever find out how to make an admin, then feel free to please do that.
Yeah, I'll definitely look into that ASAP.
Yeah. Also, to explain why Cameron's mic quality is a lot worse. Yeah.
Yeah. The headset I've been using for the last few months has randomly decided to not do that anymore. It's just not worked. It's just stopped working.
So if anyone's concerned that he sounds like he's on a radio wave and I should be responding to him as commander and saying over at the end of every message, that's why.
That seems about right. But yeah, I do intend to rectify this on Tuesday, aka get a new headset. So by next week, this should all be sorted.
Should.
So it's just a temporary little setback, let's say.
Yeah.
Anyway, this week I have a lot to talk about in one aspect, and in a lot of others not so much.
Right.
So, let's start off, as I always do, by first asking, how's your week been?
Week's not been too bad. It's just been busy as usual. There's going to be more this week anyway. So the last week was technically kind of like a calm before a calmer storm before a bigger storm. You know.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Not too bad. Week's been a bit weird. Like, it's been kind of boring but very eventful at the same time. Like, it's been a bit of a weird week to describe, really.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been half term, but I haven't actually found out if I've had a week off work or not, so I've just been doing some just in case.
I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, and with the current world situation going on, been keeping up with that a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might briefly mention that a bit later on because there is some good news that is in the making. So I'll get onto that later on. Anyway, shall we move on to the motorsport section?
Might as well.
Okie dokie. Well, to start off with, Formula One has finished its pre-season test session at Circuit Catalunya in Barcelona, and there has been a wide spread of teams who have taken top of the timesheet on each day. The first day, the fastest driver overall was Lando Norris from McLaren, which is great for him. The second day, the fastest driver there was Charles Leclerc for Ferrari, which pleasantly surprised me.
Nice.
And the last day, it couldn't be anyone else. Lewis Hamilton destroyed the timesheet. He was going so damn fast.
I mean, that's pretty good, though.
Yeah. However, I don't believe Red Bull had a single fastest lap for any of the 6 sessions.
Oh.
Which is rather concerning for that team. Yeah, in all 6 sessions, I believe all the fastest laps were held by either Mercedes, Ferrari, or McLaren. I don't think there was any done by Red Bull, which is quite concerning for the current World Championship holders.
All right.
Hopefully for them, by Bahrain, they'll have fixed out whatever the problem is at the moment, because there's another pre-season test coming up in a couple of weeks in in Bahrain, which I think is actually either next week or the week after, which would be, whoa, wow, 2 more weeks, and then it's race week. Whoa, that's come around fast.
It has done, yeah.
Yeah, whoa. So I think we're having a week off from testing this week, but then we're going into another one weekend after next, and then that will lead us directly into the first race in Bahrain. Wow.
Yeah.
And as well with Formula One today, the final 2022 F1 car livery has been revealed, and that is, of course, the Alfa Romeo, which looks amazing. And earlier on this week, we, of course, have the reveal of the 2022 Alpine, which looks absolutely stunning. Like, both of those cars really finished off launch season in the best way possible. They look so good, and I can't wait to see their drivers driving them around the tracks across this season. I can't wait. So that's everything from F1. However, we do have a bit of FIA news from across the pond, because tonight is the return of Indycar, with its first race of the season taking place, and I can't wait because, well, I was watching the first practice session yesterday, and it would appear that some drivers had a few issues, let's say. Yeah, there was a couple of crashes. For example, former F1 driver Roman Grosjean decided to rear-end another former F1 driver, Takuma Sato, in his old car, actually, and completely destroyed Roman's front wing and totaled Takuma Sato's rear wing. So neither driver was particularly happy about that. And ex-NASCAR driver Jimmy Johnson decided he wanted to go in reverse and spun his car backwards.
Oh, that doesn't sound too good to me.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson didn't actually crash. He just spun. He did a complete 180 and somehow very narrowly missed the wall.
Nice.
However,
well, not nice, but nice.
But poor old Alex Palou, the current IndyCar champion, also decided that he wanted to crash by smashing his front right of his car into a concrete wall, which I can imagine hurt quite a bit.
Yeah.
I could see that being incredibly painful for the man. I hope he's okay, but it would appear that both of the McLarens surprisingly came out of this unscathed, because it appears like all the big hitters were getting crashed or spinning. But nope, both McLarens just fine. But yeah, hopefully the 4 drivers I just mentioned were able to fix the problems with their cars that they had yesterday, ready for tonight's race. Yeah, that is pretty much it for IndyCar. There is another NASCAR race tonight. I think it's in Fontana. I don't remember the track, honestly, but I know that, oh yeah, who won last week's race? The answer was NASCAR Cup Series rookie Austin Cindric, who won in his brand new number 2 Ford Mustang, formerly driven by Brad Keselowski, who now drives the 6th Ford Mustang, and he managed to win the race despite, there was a huge crash I think it was like halfway through the race, unfortunately caused in part by ex-F1 driver Jacques Villeneuve. His car went a bit off the rails and smashed into another, which caused I think it was a 10-car pileup. So not as bad as Daytona 500 from last year's big one with 16 cars, but 10 cars is still a quarter of the field. So pretty bad, really. I don't think anyone was massively injured, just a lot of bruised egos and very damaged cars. which did
Just
bring
as
out red
bad as
flags. They could all be fixed. They could all be fixed, and they were. Don't know how
Yeah.
Jacques got on in the end. I think he finished in like 20th, which is honestly not too bad. Like halfway up the field, that is not bad at all. So well played to him. But yeah, that's kind of it for the motorsport section today.
Ah.
There's not really much to go over because F1 hasn't truly started yet. Like once F1 starts, the motorsport section will definitely be back up to its old 15-minute time slot. So no worries about that. Yeah. Anyway, hopping back to the news that I mentioned a few minutes ago, there has been some fairly positive news coming out of the Russia-Ukraine situation. And that is that on the Belarus-Ukrainian border at some point today, a Russian delegation will meet with President Zelensky of Ukraine to basically negotiate a way out of the situation.
Ah.
So really, this could all be over soon. If these negotiations
Hoping so.
I really hope so, because this, even though it's only been 3 days, this has gone on for far too long.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, too many lives have been lost. It's been a tragedy probably one of the biggest tragedies of the 21st century, I would think.
Yeah.
Like, it's been a tragedy, and hopefully these negotiations pan out, and then both sides can come to a mutual beneficial agreement that ends the conflict, and we can all go back to enjoying our lives, which should start to get better soon, as I believe the First Minister of Wales is still aiming for the end of March to end our COVID restrictions, and Nicola Sturgeon is still aiming for the 21st of March for Scotland's restrictions to end.
England's aiming for the 1st of April. So literally,
Yeah.
April Fool's is when everything's supposed to end.
Wait, haven't the restrictions themselves ended in England?
They've decreased. They haven't officially ended.
Oh, what's left then, if I may ask?
Okay, so as in like they've taken off the restriction that we need to isolate if we get COVID, but everything.
Yeah.
But there's still restrictions for like traveling and free and getting like COVID tests as well. So as soon as April 1st comes round, we can't then no more like COVID tests at all.
Yeah. Well, for free anyway.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. And I believe that will be the same thing in Wales. Like, it would appear that once whatever date Mark Drakeford ends up deciding comes, everything will just be shut off there and then. That is it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same situation for the 21st up in Scotland, so it's soon.
Yeah.
So thank goodness for that. Like, it's been a long time since we've had no restrictions, and I'll be happy to have no restrictions, but I'm still a bit cautious. The situation is improving in Wales massively. So much so that Public Health Wales have actually stopped putting out the COVID data on the weekends completely.
Oh.
It's all now being reported on a Monday. So when it comes to Monday, the figures will look slightly worse as we're getting 3 days worth of data instead of the usual one.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, which is certainly an interesting development. But yeah, the COVID situation in Wales is certainly improving. Like, I was looking throughout the end of last week, so from Tuesday onwards, really, and the situation is massively improving.
Yeah.
like I'm now starting to feel more comfortable with the restrictions being lifted completely. But I think it's going to be waiting a while till I'm fully comfortable with it. And hopefully that will come on whatever date Mark Drakeford decides to do so. So yeah, that's been pretty positive from this week. That we've had this information for like 2 weeks now, but still, it's positive that we're heading into the month that will end the COVID restrictions now in Wales and Scotland. Not sure about Ireland yet, though. I haven't heard anything on their end. Gonna have to investigate that.
Might have to. You can do a bit of investigative journalism in that case.
I think I shall, yeah.
Nice.
Well, we've just swapped roles, basically.
Yeah, you can just do my degree. It's all good.
Oh, hell no. Okay.
Why not? You'd love a court trip.
Okay. Question. How badly do you want to fail?
No. It's not like that. As in, you take up a degree in journalism and I'll go back and work.
Oh, God, no, that will not end well for either. Well, might end well for you, but me, God, no.
Oh, well.
Well, we tried. But yeah, I'll definitely be looking into the Ireland COVID restriction situation, because I haven't heard anything from Ireland for a while, thinking about it.
Yeah.
So a little bit of positive news there for this pretty less than positive week. Hopefully next week should be a bit better if these peace negotiations end up working, which I'm fairly optimistic about that they will. Because the original plan for the negotiations was to have them in Belarus itself. And the Ukrainian government wasn't exactly happy about that, as that's where most of the Russian invasion forces have been coming from. So they've agreed to hold it on the Ukrainian border to Belarus instead of in Belarus itself.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, it's going to be very hard to find neutral ground for that. I think the border is the best they're going to get.
Most likely in this case.
Because on the one side, you've got Belarus, kind of the invaders, but on the other side, you've got Ukraine, the invaded.
Yeah.
So it's pretty hard to find neutral ground, so I think holding it on the border is probably the best plan.
Just about, because it means that either one who ends up fighting, it would be on other soil.
Yeah. Also, apparently the ghost of Kiev is still flying.
Oh,
Don't
no.
know how. That pilot has been up for 3 days, and I don't know how. Like, he hasn't been shot down, his jet hasn't even been damaged, he's still going. So, well played. Whoever you are, like, you're a damn good pilot.
Good on him.
Yeah, like, fair play. I am impressed. Whoever that pilot is, they need a damn medal.
They need a damn break, is more like it.
Yeah, that too. Definitely need one of those. But yeah, like, they have done
They
some
need a
crazy
medal.
stuff
No,
over
they
2
need
days.
a break.
Or both.
Both, yeah.
Yeah. Like, I am honestly impressed. Yeah, hopefully, well, we haven't actually had a time for when these negotiations are taking place, so we are assuming it's going to be at some point today. Although there is not a lot of today left in the UK or in Ukraine, so They're going to do it today. They're going to have to speed it up a little bit.
Hurry on, hurry on.
Yeah.
It's like, hurry on, you might as well get it done before dinner. Well, after dinner at this point.
Like, why wait, guys? You know, the longer you wait, I don't even want to talk about that, but like, the sooner the better, really.
Sooner the better, yeah.
Yeah. There of course been another 65 quadrillion economic sanctions filed against Russia.
As always.
Oh, and there is a little bit more Formula One news in regards to this as well. Well, Haas's primary sponsor, for now, Uralkali, is, well, Haas are trying to break that deal off as it is owned by father of one of their drivers, Dmitry Mazepin, who is, of course, a Russian and quite good friends with Vladimir Putin. So Haas are currently trying to terminate that partnership. And by the looks of it, if Uralkali disappear from the team, Nikita Mazepin will be joining them.
Oh.
Yeah. It looks as if they're a package deal, much like Otmar Zafnauer and BWT. So it would appear that if Haas is successful in terminating their partnership with Uralkali, we'll also be saying goodbye to Nikita Mazepin. And Gunther Steiner has kind of supported that with the claim of if Nikita does have to leave Haas, which is certainly sounding like he's going to at this point, Pietro Fittipaldi, Haas reserve driver and grandson of the legendary Emerson Fittipaldi, will be first up to take his place. And the way Gunther Steiner said that if Nikita has to leave for one reason or another, kind of tells me that if Uralkali does leave Haas, he's going to be leaving too.
Yeah.
And sounds like he's probably going to be leaving because Haas are really, really trying to get this deal broke off, as they're, of course, an American team. So they have a pretty big stake in this situation, and they did actually alter their livery for the last day of testing. In fact, what they did was remove the Uralkali sponsor from their car and their motorhomes, which is making me think they may have already done the breaking off of the deal, and remove the what's been called the Russian flag striping from their front wing.
Oh.
Because on I'm not sure if you're aware, but on the, in fact, you probably are, because I think I sent it to you when they revealed the new car. The front wing has 4 planes to it, and the 3 at the back is a pattern of a white stripe, blue stripe, and a red stripe.
Oh, yeah, you did send me that.
Is the flag structure of the Russian flag, which, as you can imagine, is not really the best move at the moment, and actually illegal, seen as the Russian flag isn't allowed to be represented at all in sport at the moment due to an anti-doping thing, due to a doping situation a couple of years ago. So it's illegal anyway. But now Haas have had to remove that due to the current situation. And, oh my god, a little bit more Formula One news, because I forgot about this too somehow. In response to the Russia situation, a majority of the drivers have now spoken out against the Russian Grand Prix, and they do not want it to go ahead. The first of which was, surprise, surprise, Sebastian Vettel. And what do you know? A day after these protests started coming through from the drivers, the FIA made a statement saying, yeah, we are completely cancelling the Russian Grand Prix.
Yeah, that seems about right with everything else that's gone on.
Yeah, so that will not be happening this year. There have been heavy rumours that Turkey will be stepping up to take Russia's place.
Yeah.
As they have done for the last couple of years when races that have been planned have been able to go ahead. So it looks as if they could be filling that role again, albeit for a different reason than COVID this time, which I didn't think would happen.
I mean, we should have just kept an eye on Russia. That's the main issue.
Yeah, like, I was just expecting if a race was going to get cancelled, I would have almost guaranteed that it would have been COVID. That was the reason.
Either
Yeah.
that or major flooding or whatever.
Well, yeah. But yeah, pardon me. So yeah, that is the last bit of Formula One news from this week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, oh no, I'm gonna have to do it again because I have to remember something else. Yeah,
the motorsports never stop. The motorsports never
one
stop.
Of them streams, folks. This is gonna be one of them. Because throughout the 3 days of testing in Barcelona, the cars have rediscovered a problem that the old ground effect cars used to have back in the 70s and 80s. Of course, these cars now are returning to ground effect, and the problem is known as porpoising. Now, what that basically means is the cars are bobbing up and down like a roller coaster.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too good.
Yeah, the cars are literally going up and down, up and down, up and down. So that is
you just said cows for a second, and that just made me think of like Big Meadows from Mario Kart.
Yeah. So that's been happening throughout the pre-season test in Barcelona. Ferrari have started to come up with a little bit of a solution. What they did was I believe they cut little sections out of the underfloor of the car, which seems to have not gotten rid of the porpoising, but massively minimized it. So they're definitely onto something. But the other 9 teams are really going to have to come up with a solution, and quick. Otherwise, those drivers really should not eat before a race. Otherwise, things could get a little bit messy.
Just a bit.
Yeah. Like, I would not want to be eating if that was going to be happening to me for like 2.5 hours. No, thank you. I mean, that or I'd be coming in for a pit stop every lap. Just give myself a few seconds break.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now, I am more than happy to report that is actually the end of the motorsport section. That is it.
Are you sure?
There's nothing else to report.
Are you sure?
That is genuinely everything I would have wanted to talk about in this week's motorsport section. Yes.
Third time's the charm.
Yep, it is indeed. And that is it. So, is there anything else you want to talk about in this stream?
A mini thing, because I only found this out today, but they're releasing yet another Pokemon game.
Yeah, I did see that actually.
I wasn't. They're just releasing it like at the end of like late this year, which means it's going to be November. It's going to be like November 17th or something.
That makes sense.
Because they always release a Pokemon game in either November or in like January.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what sort of preface this is going to be, but it seems more advanced than the game that's currently out, Legends Arceus, which I still need to complete.
Yeah.
But it's not as new as like some of the other games, like Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But it looks similar to one of the Pokemon Colosseums, in a sense. So I'm very confused as to what sort of preface they're going to be releasing with that, and how many more Pokemon they're going to add to it, because they've got 3 entirely new starters.
Good God.
I'm in love with Quaxley, which is the water type. It's like a little duck with a hat on it.
I have briefly seen the new starters, but I haven't had a good look because I only saw they released the trailer just before I started this stream, so I haven't really had a chance to look.
It's a short trailer, but it's weird because it looks like it was going to be. It looked like it was going to be a Pokemon film to begin with, but then it ended up showing gameplay footage and characters and Pokemon.
Yeah. Then the realization must have hit. Oh my God, it's actually a game.
As soon as they showed like gameplay, as soon as they showed like edited graphics, then yeah, you know it's going to be a game.
Yeah. I wasn't expecting an announcement for a new game so soon because Legends of Arceus has just come out.
Legend of Arceus came out a month ago. How on earth have they decided they're making another one now?
Exactly. I just don't understand it.
That makes two of us.
Are they expecting Legends of Arceus to underperform?
No, they shouldn't have. Because it was quite popular.
Yeah, for me, at least in my very inexperience with Pokemon mind, that seems like a major explanation, but what are your thoughts?
Well, they've just released DLC for Legend of Arceus. So,
Okay.
so if that was a flop, clearly, then they wouldn't have released much DLC for it, if any.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Like I still gotta work out what the preface is of this game, and I'd have to look at it in more detail, the trailer, just to see if there's any hint. Because if it's an entirely new region, then that's going to be confusing as to which place they're basing it off. But if it's a continuation of a different region, that's going to be even more confusing.
Well, my only potential explanation is that it's a direct sequel to Legends of Arceus.
Yeah, so it's still based in if it's a direct sequel from that region, then that's gonna be that's gonna be very confusing, because the Hisui region is before Sinnoh, which means that there's gonna be areas that are not the Sinnoh region, which is Gen 4.
Oh boy.
But this is now showing new Pokemon, which do make sense in one sense, but not in another. Because they do make sense because it's technically the past, but they don't explain how they've been bred out of the system or how they got killed off or anything. Because those three starters don't exist in the modern day, while a lot of the others, well, almost all, actually all of them, do exist in some form in the modern day, just slightly different variations due to evolution.
Maybe it's a prequel to the whole franchise, maybe?
No, that wouldn't make sense either. Because that'll be another Generation 1 remake if it's another prequel.
Yeah, this is going to be a tricky one because my vibe is that by the sound of it, it's a new region.
Yeah.
But with these Pokemon that
Yeah, no, again, if they release another trailer, that's when we'd get more details. So
yeah.
Knowing them, whenever they do their next Nintendo Direct, there is going to be more information on it.
Yeah. because, again, I don't know much about that trailer, but by the sounds of it, not that much was revealed.
Again, I'll just have to wait.
Yeah. Hopefully we do get something, though, because, like, a new Pokemon game coming so soon. Like, what is the average gap between Pokemon game releases?
Usually about a year, I believe. So, like, again, in between, like, it can be 1 year, it can be a couple of years.
Yeah, so this is like a fairly short gap, really.
Yeah. Like, Pokemon Black came out in, like, 2010, while the next game, which was Black and White 2, came out in 2012. So that's at least a year, 2 years
Yeah.
per game.
Like, that is...
But they'll do, like, bigger gaps, which is weird.
Yeah, but another theory that I have, again, I could be wrong, I'm not even sure. Maybe it acts like as a part 2 to Legends of Arceus?
Again, that's still going on with the theory that it's an extra, like, further in the future, which again makes sense in one sense, but in another sense, why would they need to do that and then add more Pokemon to it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll have to do more research into it and then come back with answers at a later date.
Yeah, because I was surprised by this announcement. I thought, hold on a second. You literally released a game a month ago. What? I was confused.
Yeah. Very confused over here as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's welcome. A Pokemon game is always welcome in my books, but at the same time, it's just odd.
Why?
How they've timed it.
Why? Yeah, like, why are you making this one so quick? You've just released one. Slow down.
It's like, it's been a month. Okay, we're going to tell you there's another one coming out. No.
Like, wait, what? Like, you haven't even had a chance to complete this one.
I know, and the Switch is, like, downstairs in the living room because I've set it up by there. And I'm just ready to just, like, sit down in front of that instead of doing uni work and play.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I'm getting very tempted to get a Switch.
I mean, if you do it, then depending on what sort of software you wanted, you could always set it up to record stuff too.
I could, yeah. I believe there are ways to do that.
Yeah, if you get a proper capture card for it.
Yeah.
I would have to look into it again because I did want to get one for my own Switch.
Fair enough. Probably honest, there are a couple of games I really want to play on Switch, such as
and then now
Zelda, and get back into Pokemon.
Well, this also means that if I wrangle you Animal Crossing, I can force you to play with me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably going to get sucked into that as well, to be honest.
I'm just imagining you making a cottagecore island. That'd be funny.
Right, and I've got a question. Because my current Nintendo console is quite old. I currently got the 3DS. What's the screen resolution like? Yeah, on the Switch.
Screen res is pretty good. Just make sure that I would highly recommend more if you're going to be playing for longer periods of time to keep it in the cradle and put it on the television. But if you're going to do like short bursts, then I would recommend handheld. But the graphics on it are pretty good.
Good. Like,
also remember the 3DS Nintendo eShop is going to be closing soon. So if you want anything from there, make sure you get it ASAP.
It is. That's why I'm wanting to get the Switch.
Switch is a good idea because if you pay for
'Cause-
like internet stuff as well, you get
Mhm.
access to like old SNES games and N64 stuff.
Oh, nice. 'Cause I did have a brief go at the original Mario in
Yeah.
Comic-Con a couple of years ago. I found it a bit frustrating and a bit jarring because it's like literally 2D. I could see myself getting used to a game like that.
Yeah.
And of course, as I mentioned a couple of months ago, on Dreams on PS4, somebody did actually recreate World 1-1 from Mario, and I actually completed it first time.
To be fair, a lot of things nowadays will be able to like replicate World 1-1. Like
Yeah,
anybody on Super Mario Maker, they would pretty much make
yeah,
that if they can't think of anything else.
of course. And I do also really want to play Mario Odyssey.
Oh, I've got that because it came not free, but it came with my Switch. It's like
Oh,
downloadable.
wow. Oh,
Also,
cool.
oh yeah, I recommend to you if you're gonna get a Switch, make sure you also get a spare SD card. For the simple reason the Switch doesn't have enough as much space as you think.
Noted.
Because I need to get a new one for my Switch anyway, or at least a micro SD.
Okay. Well, with you mentioning SNES games, then I'm now pretty excited because there is an old SNES game that I really want to try.
Which one?
It's actually the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers video game.
Why am I not surprised?
Because, well, the SNES was released right around the time of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers series, and well, actually, it had 3 games for it.
Yeah.
It had a normal game, one they called a Fighting Edition, which I can't remember what was exclusive to that. There was something. And then they had one for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie, in '95. So the SNES
Yeah.
had 3 titles for just the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Then they had a couple more throughout the years until the SNES was eventually phased out itself. But I'm hoping the
Yeah.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers games are on the Switch because I've seen them and they do look really good for, admittedly, for the time. But still,
Um.
like,
Yeah, just potentially then. I wouldn't be too sure because I end up looking every so often, but I
yeah,
wouldn't be able to properly tell you.
that's fair. Yeah, I'm getting tempted because, of course, with the Nintendo eShop on the 3DS being shut down, do you know what the date is for that exactly?
I can double check.
Thank you.
Again, this is kind of my research topic.
Yeah.
I've also got a thing ready to download like ROMs if needed.
Fair enough.
It's closing. It'll cease in March.
Yep, I had a feeling that was the case.
So we've got 2 days basically, which means I'm going to be switching on
Right.
my DS, 3DS after the stream, and then seeing what stuff I want to like purchase. Because
Yeah.
that thing's just done me for like so much good over the years.
Yeah, but like my poor old Nintendogs and cats.
Oh.
I've checked in on them briefly. They're still alive.
Yeah, they'll always stay alive. It's just whether they run away or not.
I've actually still managed to keep them all.
Good job.
They're still all there. Don't know how, but they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am tempted to get a Switch at some point. Probably not soon, but definitely I am hoping to get one at some point in the future.
Yeah.
It seems.
Well,
to me,
if you do, let me know.
yeah. Oh, will do. But like, to me, it seems like the 3DS on steroids.
Kind of. Just don't lick the game cartridges because they have like a thing on them. It's a very weird thing to tell you, but it was a craze like years ago when the Switch came out that Nintendo put like a film of inedible substance over their Switch games, so if you lick them, it would just be awful. I don't know what person decided to just lick them to begin with.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is just as bad as a Tide Pod situation.
Yeah, people on YouTube just licked like the game cartridges just
Jesus
to
Christ.
see if they were true.
Why?
Because if something tastes icky on like something that you wouldn't expect, you'd want to try it. I haven't licked one in
Yeah,
order just to specify to everybody who's listening. I haven't licked one. I just know that people have.
But like, what? Who prompted them to do that in the first place? Like what was the cause
I
for
couldn't
that?
possibly tell you. I couldn't possibly tell you.
Wow. Good God. Yeah, I am speechless.
Yeah. But yeah, I get it's the duality of man. We see something that we like, we want to eat it. We see something that's apparently supposed to taste awful, we want to taste it to make sure it tastes awful.
Yeah, it's like the big red button situation. You see a big red button that says "Do not press." What's your natural instinct? Exactly.
You didn't even have to finish that sentence; it was just press.
Yeah, but like, I just don't understand what prompted the initial game cartridge lick. Like,
I mean, it's technically for like little children who decide they want to put it in their mouth and then they taste something icky, so then they just don't eat
sense.
it. But then adults decided to test that out.
And that's where I lose faith in humanity. There it is.
Yeah.
I was waiting for that moment. I was thinking, okay, this is far too normal. Oh, there we go.
Yeah. But yeah, again, let me know if you ever get a Switch, because and tell me what games you get too, because if so,
absolutely.
then easy enough to do collabs on anything or on most things.
Yeah. Because my top ones I really want to play are Zelda games.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've been following the lore for quite a long time now. And I've only ever played Majora's Mask, which, as it turns out, is not the best one to start with.
No, but it's funny to start with.
Yeah, but it's also incredibly hard, given the surprisingly short time limit.
Yeah, depends on how many times you go back in time.
Wait, what?
Well, Majora's Mask is the Majora's Mask. You go back in time.
You have got to be kidding me. You can go back in time? Oh my.
Give me a second. Let me double check if I've got the right game.
Oh, please. Oh, God. Wait, are you thinking of Ocarina of Time?
No.
Oh, my God. Oh.
Dear. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, yeah, it's a 3-day period from Majora's Mask, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, you have to use the flute. You have to lose the ocarina to go back in time in order to complete everything. You have to just keep doing that throughout the game.
Thanks
Don't
for
tell me
telling me
you've
that,
been,
Majora's Mask.
don't tell me you've just been playing through and not actually paying attention to the story. Because the story tells you have to keep going back in time to the first
See, that's
day.
the thing. I kind of got stuck on one of the first things, so I just not even got to that point.
Yeah, Cam,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. Yeah. It was not good.
The game
Yep.
explains to you you need to do that. I've got it on like I'm not a purist. I got it on the 3DS because I just wanted to have like better graphics.
I wish
Even
it would
I
have told you
ended up.
that straight away.
You have to go to the point where it gives you the option to.
That's the thing. I didn't get to that point because I just got
You
stuck. I was
you struggled on one of the first puzzles.
like,
Oh
where
no.
am I supposed to go? And then the moon came crashing down.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
struggled on one of the
Yeah.
first puzzles.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's why it wouldn't tell you because you're supposed to solve like the easy puzzles to get to the point where it says, "Hey, you've got an ocarina, you can play it to go back in time." And you have to keep doing that until
Oh,
you find like the right ending.
yeah, that seems about right. Although, in fairness, I am going off me from 10 years ago, who was really not very good at video games back then.
Yeah,
I
I'm
was
sure you could find that
astonishingly
bit
bad.
now.
Most likely, yeah.
Please at least try and
Yeah.
get the rock. Try and get a bit further through Majora's Mask next time.
Yeah, I will be trying because, oh, God. Because I bought Majora's Mask because I thought, okay, I've heard about this one. It's really good. And I did.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it went really badly, really quick.
Mm. Right, so next stream we're gonna have to hear an update to see whether you've actually gone further in Majora's Mask or not. That
I
is your
shall
goal.
try because I shall try because I've got a fairly busy week ahead.
Just try and get through the first puzzle.
Plus, yeah, I also kind of sort of need to find Majora's Mask,
Yeah.
so that might take a while on its own.
I mean, it's not so bad.
Yeah. No, but yeah, but once if I end up getting a Switch, I'll definitely be trying an easier Zelda game because, oh dear God.
All of them involve fighting, you know.
Oh yeah, I know. It wasn't even that. It was literally a puzzle solving thing. Like, I don't remember how far I'd gotten because it's been so long since I've played it, but it was not very far.
What am I gonna do with you,
Yeah.
Cam?
Well,
This is
the
not
result
the
is, though,
epic
I've
gamer
gotten
pog we need.
no, but I've gotten a lot better since then at games. A lot better.
Okay, you still don't want to do anything competitive.
No, no. But yeah, I've gotten a lot better since those days of getting stuck on one of the first puzzles in Majora's Mask.
Yeah, you get stuck on the second puzzle.
Yeah, I should also
I'm
say that
kidding. I'm
I don't
kidding.
play Nintendo. I mean, potentially, you never know. It's been so damn long since I've played.
Yeah.
But, like, out of all the game consoles in the world, like, Nintendo is the one that I play the least, because, well, I'm using a 3DS at the moment, and the screen resolution isn't brilliant, really. Like, given all of my problems, I need a rather big screen, which the Switch does. I could probably do quite well with the Switch screen.
True, but also because it has like a cradle and a bit of extra to it and a
Yeah,
HDMI cable, you're able to connect that to your television too.
even better. But yeah, like the Switch it was good for its time. Like, at the time, really good.
Mm.
Saying that, my heart still breaks at the fact that my PSP has gone MIA.
Oh. Oh, don't worry. I ended up finding out recently that my PS4 went on its last legs.
Oh no!
And we had so many trophies on it and we couldn't back them up.
Ah, ouch!
That was our child.
Ah,
You know.
yeah. But wait, how long have you had your PS4?
Oh, goodness. A good couple of years now, I should say. At least 4.
Oh no!
That has been our child through thick and thin.
Oh
My
no!
Stardew Valley! I've lost my Stardew Valley file.
Wait, did you say about 4 years?
Yeah,
Oh Jesus!
yeah, I lost my Stardew Valley, my Harvest Moon file, my Kingdom Hearts 100% completed files, my Final Fantasy that I
Ah!
was almost done with. Actually, no, no,
Oh!
I only just finished that. I only just finished Final
Um.
Fantasy 12 after so long of just quitting through halfway.
Oof. But guess who else has had his PS4 for about 4 years?
Who?
Me.
You make it sound like I was
Oh.
somebody else. Don't worry. I think mine. Actually, I'm not sure if mine was first or second hand, so it'll be fine. Because again,
Okay,
we're
thank
in
God.
different situations.
Yeah, like mine was first hand from Christmas 2017.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but I'll be honest, I'm probably going to keep an eye on it because, well, I just don't know. Like, the PS4 doesn't seem as durable as the old PS3 was.
Yeah, my PS3, my PS3, my PS2 is even still working.
Like, my PS3, it's still going now because my auntie has it now, and it's still running
Yeah,
like a dream. And I had that thing in like 2007, so that
yeah.
thing's an absolute beast.
Like I said, my PS3, even my PS2, or my brother's PS2, which he's had since he was little, that's even before I
Yeah,
was born, that's still working.
good God. Like, but saying that, I never had a PS. Like, the first console I ever had was a PS3.
The PS2, what a classic.
Well, I
Although
should say
when I
the same
used
for
to
the
work
PS3.
in, although when I used to work in an antique shop, we did actually sell like the original PS1s in there sometimes,
Oh wow. Oh
but they
wow.
were like for £15.
Good God.
I know, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I like the PS4 is running well still, but I don't know why I just got I don't think it's going anytime soon. Like I can tell it's got a few years left in it, but it just strikes me as a console that it's gonna go on you when you least expect it.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna crash when it does. I hope and pray that I'm wrong. Like I really do, but I just got a feeling, you know. Because like now, like I feel really old. The PS4 is turning 10 years old this year.
Wow.
Yep, I feel ancient.
Ah, well.
Yeah.
Well, shall we not feel as ancient and look at the time because we've almost talked for an hour now.
Whoo, yeah, we have. I do just want to say one last thing about the PS4.
I thought you were
I
going
don't
to
know if
say
I mentioned
F1 for a second, and I'm just like, no.
it. No, but also PS4 support will be ending next year. Like games won't be made for the PS4 from next year onwards.
Wow.
Yep. So, yeah, let's wrap this thing up, shall we?
Put it in
Whew.
a nice little bow, yes.
Yeah. So that's gonna do it for this stream, guys. If you watch here on stereo, thank you for watching. Don't forget to follow me on here. You'll see the follow button, probably if you click on my account with my little icon. Or if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It'll be the big red button just below the title of the video. Unless you've already subbed, then it's great. Thank you for that, by the way. Once you've done that too, don't forget to check out my link tree for all of my social medias: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Once you've done that as well, don't forget to follow Sam here on stereo at me and X, and at Roxo, and subscribe to the YouTube channel at me and X. Don't forget as well to check out her website, which will be in just below my link tree in the description of the video if you're watching on YouTube. And lastly, don't forget to check Frost's Instagram. And that's going to do it for the stream, unless...
Rabbits end up being pregnant between 28 to 31 days and giving birth up to 14 baby rabbits.
Whoa!
That's where you get the phrase of breeding like rabbit.
Okay. That explains that then. And with that really surprising fact, that'll do it for the stream, guys. So I shall say I'll see you tomorrow with another video on YouTube, and next week with another stream. Goodbye!
Bye!